seated posture, whether it is a Sukhasana, easy seated, or if you like, you could sit in half lotus, or if full lotus is part of your practice. And also, if you'd like, you can sit in a nice thunderbolt pose, and you can even incorporate a nice block. Whatever suits you as you relax and come into the body and into the breath. And just taking a moment to get situated, checking in. Become aware of the shoulders as they drop away from the ears. Feel the neck as it becomes nice and long. Feeling the spine elongate towards the ceiling. Checking in with the breath. Noticing your inhalations and your exhalations. Just a natural rhythm of the breath. And just getting situated on the mat and situated in our practice. Using these few moments as we begin. Maybe there is a mantra or an intention that you have in your heart or in your mind. Bringing that awareness forward and allowing it to be with you during your practice this evening. Maybe you close the eyes or you keep the eyelids half open. Whatever you are comfortable with. Very gently begin to take your inhalation a little deeper. Making sure to count the inhalation. You can count to 3, 4, or 5, whatever you are comfortable with. And then also become aware of your exhalation. And make sure to count the same amount for the exhalation. So you want your inhalations as you deepen them to be equal amount as the exhalation. Also, it will give you the opportunity to take your time and just be very slow, very intentional with your breath. Become aware of the slight pause that you notice as the inhale connects to the exhale. Maintaining this beautiful cycle of deep breaths. Giving your shoulders permission to relax. Giving your neck permission to relax. Very gently continue to bring the awareness to each part of the body with each inhalation and exhalation, also giving it permission to relax. Just let it go. Nowhere to be, nothing to do, but just here with your mat, here with your breath, and here in this moment. Continuing with our breath. As you inhale, go ahead and bring the right shoulder very slowly towards the right ear, towards the right shoulder, excuse me. And as you exhale, very gently bring it back to center. Taking it to the other side, we're going to inhale, bringing our left ear towards our left shoulder. And as you exhale, gently bringing the head back to center. Taking a few rounds. And if it feels good on your next inhale as you drop the right ear to the right shoulder, feel free to stay there for a breath cycle or maybe two. You know your body better than anybody. Maybe you become aware of how deep the breath continues to grow. Becoming aware of the belly as it expands with each inhalation. And as it grows very closely, tightly back to the spine as you exhale. Just very gently removing the neck. You should become aware of the light sensation in the chest. Noticing the shoulders without any meaning or purpose have begun to relax and release. On your next inhale, bring your head back to center wherever you are. And we're going to continue to move with our breathing, and we're going to begin to incorporate a little breath retention. So when you were counting your inhalations, you probably have a really good idea of your count, if it was 3, 4, or 5. So whatever you're comfortable with, and if you are just starting with breath retention, I would suggest inhaling for a count of 3, holding for a count of 3, and exhaling for a count of 3. The same with if you choose to do the 4 count or the 5 count. And as you continue to practice your pranayama breathing, you will notice that that count continues to get higher and higher and higher. But for today, we're just going to take it easy. You got nowhere to be, no pressure. So on your next inhalation, finding where you are in your cycle count, very gently inhale through the nose, becoming aware of how many counts, and hold, closing the mouth. And when the body is ready to release, slowly exhale through the nose. Continuing to follow this breath cycle practice for about 5 rounds. And if you're feeling dizzy, lightheaded, just return to the normal breath. Take it easy on yourself. Sometimes when people are introduced to breath retention, it can make them a little lightheaded. If you feel the mind begin to wander, just bring it back to the breath. Being kind to yourself. Making sure to check in with the alignment as you continue to breathe. Making sure that we don't allow the body to slouch, but yet we become aware and intentional about holding our alignment and our spine straight. Settling in. Coming to the 5th round. And when you're ready on your time, I'll meet you back in center. The awareness back to the front. The awareness back into the physical body, not just the breath. Maybe you do some light tapping for very gently on the arms, maybe on the legs. Fluttering the eyes open. And whenever you're ready, inhale, let's bring the arms up above, making sure to keep the shoulders nice and dropped away from the ears. Checking in, making sure that we're not curving into the spine and that we're keeping our tailbone tucked. And then as you exhale, bringing our hands down towards our knees. We're going to inhale, open the chest, taking our gaze a little bit up to the sky, and then exhale, curving into the back. Doing a little cat-cow variation to open up the practice and also just to get our spine nice and warm. So as you begin to do these at your own rhythm, you don't have to go very deep into your cat-cow. You can actually just do it very gentle, very subtle. Really allowing yourself to feel the body as you inhale and you make these adjustments within your pose. And as you exhale, very gentle. Seeming almost like a very meditative movement. Very gently come back to center. Inhale, bringing the arms back above. Bringing our hands, tucking them together, clasping them, our index fingers up towards the sky. And inhale, you want to rise up through whatever seated posture you're in right now. You want to pull the spine nice and long. And then very gently, exhale over to the right. Inhale back to center. We're going to hold the breath here very gently, very slowly. And then as you exhale to the left, we're incorporating our breath retention into a nice little side lateral stretch. Inhale back to center, very slowly. Holding the breath. And then exhale to the right. Inhale back to center. Holding the breath. And then as you exhale, bringing the hands front and center, down in front, coming into a little variation of cat. Inhale back up once more. And then exhale, bringing the arms out in front, down into a nice cat. Inhale. And then holding the breath. And then very slowly, as you release the hands, exhale, and let the fingers slowly go down to the side. So whichever position you were in for your seated posture, go ahead and bring yourself up onto your knees. And we're going to do a child's pose. So you can choose to do a wide-legged variation of child's pose, or whatever way that you express your child's pose. So we're going to bring our back toes together. You can either leave your knees under your hips, or you can take them wide as the mat. And then as you exhale, gently bring the tush down to the heels. Stretching the arms out in front. So this is the first child pose of the evening. So if you need to incorporate a block to rest underneath the brow point of the forehead, this would be a good prop to use. Incorporating our deep breaths.
Really allowing ourselves to feel the belly as it fills with air, dropping towards the floor. And exhale as it tucks back in towards the spine. Very slowly, we want to inhale, begin to walk the hands towards the right. Take them to a nice, comfortable stretch, lateral side stretch. And you don't want to feel a crick in the neck, and you don't want to feel any pain in your knees or in your hips. So wherever you feel is comfortable, because we're going to, as you inhale, you want to rise the chest up, and then as you exhale, you're going to begin to drop the chest towards the ground. So we're going to be doing a nice variation of a lateral stretch in a child's pose. And you should feel a nice, good stretch right through here. If you have any shoulder pain, or like I said, if you're feeling any pain, especially in the groin too, you might want to bring the knees closer together. Go ahead and inhale, walking our hands back to center. And then as you exhale, walking them very slowly to the left. Finding that edge once more. And then as you exhale, begin to fall over, dropping down towards the floor. Feeling our breath. Very gently. Inhale, walking the hands back to center. And then exhale, bringing the gaze out in front. You want to try to see if you can pull the chest forward a little. Noticing a little bit more hinge in the hips. And then exhale very slowly, dropping onto the forearms. Almost as if you're setting up in Sphinx pose, but you're in child's pose. Taking a moment just to breathe, check in with your body. And then whenever you're ready, go ahead and begin to rock back up, bringing the knees back under the hips, coming into a nice table. So if you need a blanket under your knees for comfort, you can unfold it and put it there. Or if you choose not to, that's okay as well. So making sure that our hands are aligned under the shoulders, our knees are aligned under the hips, the tops of our feet are flat on the floor. We're going to do a nice little cow. Inhale, go ahead and let's drop the belly. Bringing our gaze up towards the sky or out in front. And as you exhale, you're going to round the back, tucking the tailbone, tucking the chin. And really, this time, find your own expression in cat-cow. So we've warmed up the body. And now you should feel the spine being a little bit more flexible. Maybe it wants to go a little bit deeper. If you feel any pain or any uncomfortable situations, that's your body's nice little way of saying, hello, I'm not ready yet. But it's also a way of saying, hey, ease up on me. I'm here to help you. We want to learn and grow from our practice, but we also want to make sure we take really good care of our body in the process. Maybe you play with dancing lions, swaying the hips back and forth. And then coming once more into a nice table. So on your next inhalation, go ahead and tuck the right toes, bringing them back behind you, doing a nice little calf stretch. Pushing the heel back towards the opposite side of the room. maybe become aware of as you inhale deep, your toes and the ball of your foot launch you forward a little, and as you exhale, you're able to take that calf stretch a little bit deeper and that heel a little bit further back towards the wall. In the process, being very gentle, not to upset the calf. We want it to cooperate during our practice. We don't want any Charlie horses. And then very slowly, exhale, you're going to sweep that right foot all the way between the front hands. Very gently rocking down, making sure that the knee is aligned over the ankle, coming into a nice low lunge. Closing the eyes. You can set up for low lunge on using the hands, or if blocks are part of your practice, to bring the earth up towards you. Now is a good time to incorporate them. Becoming intentional in our breathing and intentional with feeling our body. Very gently from here, you want to tuck the left toes. Go ahead and bring that left knee up. So we're going to set up for high lunge. So you want to, once again, I always like to double check and make sure that my knee is aligned over my ankle, because I can sometimes get a little wonky as I do the transition. So depending on how deep your high lunge is going to be, or where you are in your low lunge, maybe you want to bring it up a little. So you want to set up, and then whenever you're ready, you can use your blocks for support to help bring you up. Also, you can place the hands on the thighs, and very slowly you're going to come up into a nice high lunge. Making sure to pull the belly button in towards the spine. Maybe bring your hands to your hips. So as you inhale, bring your hands up above, or if you choose, keep them on your hips. We're going to inhale, elongate the spine, make sure the hips are square, and then very slowly you want to hinge forward at the hips. Now we did this a little bit last Friday because I was setting up for something good. Always, everything is good in yoga. So from here, because you've used the balls of your feet to push off of, now if blocks are in your practice, we're going to transition very slowly into Warrior 3. So you can use the blocks to help push you off, making sure that you keep your hips square. You want to flex the left foot. I don't like it when my couch gets in the way, so let me readjust myself, and use this time also to readjust if you need to. So this is a good way. I like to use blocks when I practice Warrior 3. Also, I like to keep my head above my heart if I'm having issues with blood pressure. And when you've checked in with your alignment, your hips are nice and square, and you want to try just a little bit more balance. Go ahead and release the blocks very slowly. And then go ahead and bring either one hand to heart center, bending the knee a little bit, or bring both. So you'll notice also that one of your sides is going to be maybe a little off balance. And very slowly begin to bend the left knee, coming back towards center, bringing it right beside the right foot. Inhale, we're going to look halfway up. Exhale, we're going to gently fall forward. Taking a nice forward fold. Very slowly inhale, bringing the hands onto the shins, up towards the thighs, coming up. And as you come up, bring the left leg up in front. You want your knee to be at a nice 45-degree angle, or 90-degree angle, I'm sorry. Bringing our gaze, finding our focal point out in front. If you have a wall handy, a wall is always good. So the goal of this is to eventually, as you continue with your practice, transition from a warrior three, swooping the foot around and then transitioning into this nice pose. And then very slowly exhale, bringing the left foot behind. Slowly placing it on the ground behind you in a nice 45-degree angle. Checking in with our body, checking in with where we are because we're setting up to move into our warrior one. Once you have straightened the front legs, squared the hips, begin to slowly bend the right knee coming into your warrior one. So you may find that this is where you are with your warrior one for today. If you decide, hey, I want to go a little bit deeper, go ahead and make the adjustment. Just as long as the knee is nice and aligned over the ankle. You don't want to go too far over or not enough. It causes you to lose your balance, and also it's not good on the knees, not good on the ankles. Making sure the hips are square. You can bring your hands to heart center. Or you can rise them up. Warrior one and warrior three are good balancing poses, but they're also good grounding poses. So I find when I'm stressed out, I need to slow down and bring myself back into my body by doing a lot of grounding poses. And the whole warrior one, warrior two, and warrior three family is really good at doing that for me. Very slowly. Exhale, you want to bring the hands back down to the earth, framing the right foot. And then whenever you're ready, go ahead on the balls of the left foot, bring the right foot back, joining the left, coming into your first downward facing dog. Then just relax. Checking in with your breath. Becoming aware of any sensations you may notice in the left or the right side of the body. You may notice that the right side feels a little bit more open. On your next inhale, go ahead and bring the left leg between the hands. Go ahead and bring them to meet the hands. Go ahead to, so we're going to drop the right knee. And what you want to do is come back very gently. Do a nice stretch on the left side. Just get it ready. Exhale, walk forward. Scoop the left leg behind you. Bring it all the way back to tuck the left toes. And we want to do a nice calf stretch on the left side. Inhale, maybe we rock forward a little bit. And then exhale. Come back into that. Inhale, come forward. Exhale. Before we bring the left foot forward, we're going to balance out the side and bring the right leg between the hands. And then very slowly peel it also open to give it a nice stretch. You can also use blocks for this if you choose. And then when you're ready, inhale, coming back to center. Bringing the right foot back behind you, coming back into your table. And then when you're ready, inhale, bring the left foot between the hands. setting up for low lunge on the left side. So checking in with where we are. Maybe you notice that the left is a little bit different than the right. Making sure our knee is aligned over our ankle. Seeing if we need blocks to help get us where we'd like to get them. Becoming aware of the breath. Maybe close the eyes for a brief moment. And as you enjoy your low lunge, I'm going to scooch back a little so I don't run into my couch again. And very slowly, I'm going to tuck the right toes, lifting the right knee up. We're going to set up for a low lunge on the right side. High lunge, excuse me. So if you would like, this is the time. If you know where you are within your lunges, make your adjustment, or you can always make the adjustment as you rise. So finding what feels good, using the blocks for support. You could use them to help walk you up, but you want to pull the belly button in towards the spine, creating that strength in the core, and using the strength of your core and the strength of your legs to help pull you up. And on the next inhale, you want to rise up, checking in with our alignment. Making sure our hips are nice and square. We're on the back of the ball of the right foot, so it's helping us to face towards the wall with the left knee over the left ankle. And when you're ready, inhale, pull nice and tall. And then exhale, hinge forward at the hips, pushing forward on the ball of the right toes. A nice forward fold. Maybe you do airplane arms. And when you're ready, inhale, bringing the right leg up to the left. So the goal of this is to eventually be able to launch from the right or the left foot and launch into your warrior three. That's the goal, and it's something that I like to set goals in my practice. So especially at a home practice, it's something to work towards. So we're going to go from our high lunge. If you would like, after you have rocked forward, hinge forward at the hips, like I said, you can choose to launch off the feet, coming into warrior three, or you could step the foot up to meet the left, making sure to place the left ankle under the left hip, and then bring in that right leg up, checking in, making sure the hips are straight, the right foot is flexed. And then from there, taking your warrior three. Exhale, bring in our foot down to the side, bringing it up, the right knee up, making sure our foot is flexed. Finding your balance, finding your focal point in front. Very slowly exhale. Go ahead and bring the right leg behind you, almost as if you're going back into your warrior three, but instead you're going to drop that back foot, setting up to come up into your warrior one. So the goal of the transition from each pose is to start in a high lunge, hinging forward at the hips, maybe do airplane arms, launching off, coming into warrior three, and then eventually sweeping the foot through Bringing the leg up to the 90-degree angle, a nice balancing pose. And then very gently closing your flow with transition with warrior one. Just food for thought. It's something I like to work up to in a practice. So that's why I like showing the different breakdown of each of the pose and the transition. So we can build like a nice transition from one to the other. Coming into the breath. And then very slowly turning back on the right balls of the feet. Bringing our hands back down to either side. And then exhale, go ahead and bring that left foot through, coming back into a downward facing dog. Stretching through the ankles and the calves and the hips and the thighs. Becoming aware of your breath. Where are you in your breath? And then as you exhale, go ahead and roll up on the balls of the feet, bringing the knees back down to the floor, touching the toes, bringing the legs wide as the mat, and then exhale, coming down into a child's pose. And just relax. Very slowly inhale, coming back to table. And then very gently, we're going to go ahead and bring the right leg in front, going ahead and rolling over on to our tush. Bringing our legs out in front for a nice staff pose. So with our staff pose, you want to make sure that the legs are out in front, your feet are flexed, and you're aligned underneath, your hips are aligned, the spine is nice and tall. You don't want to slouch, and sometimes it's good if you're not sure where you are with your alignment or your posture in staff pose. A wall is a really good tool to help you get there. And you just want to close the eyes, maybe wiggle the toes. So as you inhale, go ahead and bring the right leg up towards the knee, giving it a little hug. Maybe you pull the chest forward a little bit. And then as you exhale, go ahead and open it up to the right so you're making a nice figure four. And just allow yourself to just breathe and be within this nice hip opener and stretch. So you can choose to stay up with your spine erect, or if you would like to do a nice calf and leg stretch and also continue to work your hip flexors, you can incorporate a nice forward fold. So you want to inhale, bringing the spine nice and long, using our blocks if you need them to walk you out. And I like using these as a tool, especially they help you figure out where you are with your back to make sure your back is nice and flat. It helps you gauge, especially when you have them turned on this side, because it keeps your shoulders nice and straight. And you can feel through here as you hinge forward at the hips. And just in this, see if you can stay in this posture. Now, if it hurts, go ahead and walk the hands back a little. Deep stretching is really good for stress, really good for anxiety. And if folding completely over is part of your practice, this is the perfect time to take that if you wish. You can choose to keeping the back straight, bringing the torso, the chest down towards your leg, or if you would like, taking a block, using it underneath the head. So let me show you really quick. I like to bring my block here out on my shin. And you want to place it very nicely on here, but you want to use your hands to help hold hold the block, because also you're holding the block from it slipping. It's helping you hold, like pull yourself forward so you can keep your back nice and straight. It also keeps you from concaving over and falling in too deep to where you don't want any cervical spine pain, or you don't want to crick your neck. And just very gently exhale. Maybe you incorporate some loud exhales through the mouth to release anything you might be holding in the hips. Inhale and then exhale through the mouth. Or if you like to sing a nice melody, you could inhale through the nose and then hum a nice melody with the mouth open. Sound and vibration is also a good tool for helping to release stress. Very slowly, if you had a block, begin to walk the self back up, coming back up into an upright position, bringing our right leg back up in front, and then exhale, go ahead and drop it down in front, giving your legs a nice windshield wiper. And we're going to take it to the left side. So you want to inhale, bring in that left leg up, bringing the left foot onto the inside of the right knee. Or if you are more advanced and you want to take it closer to the pelvis, closer to the groin, I should say. And then as you exhale, go ahead and drop that left knee down towards the earth. And also, I just wanted to, I love blocks. So if you're feeling that the ground is too far and it's causing you any pain in the pelvis or the groin, this guy will never let you down. They will always be there to support you. So whenever you're ready, after you've gotten situated where you would like to have your leg for your figure four, making sure that both sit bones are still on the ground, you're nice and comfy. Using our blocks, or if you want to use your fingers, to very slowly walk you forward, hinging you at the hips. And if you're feeling any knee pain or any intense growing pain, it's okay to go ahead and you can bring your foot to the inside of your calf. And this should be a little bit more gentle on you as well, because sometimes you'll notice that your left and your right side are at different places, and one's a little bit more flexible than the other. Just a little modification. So hinging forward, finding what feels good, what's comfortable. Making sure that we keep our back nice and straight, our shoulders are dropped away from the ears. And whenever you're ready, very slowly begin to walk yourself down, bringing the block, if you choose, underneath your forehead. If that's too much, you can always stack both, hold them with your hands, and just make sure you keep the shoulders away from the ears. And this should feel really good. As I said earlier, if it does hurt, go ahead and release the foot. Go ahead and take it a little bit further down the leg to the, maybe to the calf muscle. Whatever feels nice. If you're advanced in your practice and you want to work on dropping the torso down towards the thighs, or if you'd like to wrap the hands around the outside of the flexed foot, very gently, wherever you are in your stretch. Go ahead and walk yourself back up. Go ahead and bring that foot nice out in front, leg nice and long. Into a nice staff pose, checking in, making sure to windshield wiper the feet. Very gently, bringing in the right leg once more and the left leg. Bringing our knees together. Go ahead and walk the feet out. Bring in the soles of the feet together. Maybe you drop to the right first and then the left. Coming into butterfly pose. So your hips should be nice and open after we've done some nice stretches to open you up a little bit more. If you still have, like I said, knee pain or groin pain, you can take your legs out a little bit further, more towards a cobbler's pose. Or if you'd like, use your blocks underneath the knees. Use them as support. Closing the eyes. And if this feels good and you would like to take it a little bit deeper, maybe you decide that you would like to hinge forward at the hips, using the forearms to gently place on the legs for pressure to help the knees go down to the earth. If you're having knee pain or groin pain, I would suggest staying right here. It's perfect. Beautiful. Inhale, walking back to center. Bringing our knees together, putting them out to front, and doing a nice windshield wiper. So we are going to transition down to our back. So I like to, especially in a nice class when I focus on stress release, when I focus on the back, the glutes, when I focus on the calf muscles, especially the shoulders, I like to always incorporate, especially after hip openers, just to do a nice restorative bridge pose. So if you have blocks handy, you can choose to do this, or if you have a book, or if you want to stack pillows. So whenever you're ready, go ahead and however you find your way down. I usually like to walk my tush down a little further, and then I like to walk using my hands and then my forearms down to the earth, and then slowly pushing on to my back, making sure that I roll my hip or my torso towards me. So you want your feet to be aligned under your knees. So if you would like, instead of taking the restorative bridge pose and you'd like to take the full bridge pose, please feel free. As I said earlier, this is your practice. You know your body best and you know what you need. As long as you don't hurt yourself, that's the only rule. So when you're ready, we're going to inhale, bringing our hips up off the ground, making sure that we're rolling onto the muscles in our back and our upper back. You don't want to push into the neck. So you want to make sure that the support you feel is on your upper part of your back. And then you want to take your block so you can put it long ways between the point of the pelvis and the lower spine. You just don't want it directly on your spine. Or if you would like, you can also just very, very gently put it on the lower side. And then just taking a few moments to get situated. Maybe you notice that your knees need to be further out, like your legs need to be further out. Wherever you are in your practice and in your pose. And just close the eyes. Returning back to our deep breathing. Become aware of the inhalations and the exhalations. See if they are deeper than the beginning of your practice. Become aware if you're able to expand the chest more or the belly fills out more. Really allow yourself to feel your inhales and your exhales in this pose. Finding your own rhythm within your deep breath. Noticing the slight pause once more between your inhalation as it connects to the exhalation. Very slowly as you continue to follow your breath. On your next inhale, go ahead and push up in your feet off of the block, raising the hips. Remove the block or the support that you had underneath. And then very slowly, one vertebrae at a time, begin to release your bridge pose. Back down to the earth. Feeling the spine completely supported. Go ahead and bring the right leg, followed by the left. Bringing our arms up above, taking a nice stretch. Taking a few moments to incorporate any pose into your close of your practice that we did not get a chance to cover tonight. And then whenever you're ready, finding what feels perfect as you set up for your Shavasana. And I will see you on the other side. Enjoy. gently. Become aware of the deep inhalations and exhalations, returning back to your normal rhythm of breathing. Become aware of the fingertips as you slightly move them. The toes as you gently wiggle them. Become aware of the heaviness of the head as it rests upon the earth. Become aware of the shoulders, the arms, the back. Become aware of the heaviness in the shoulders, the arms, and the back as they rest upon the earth. Gently bringing the awareness down to the hips, the thighs, calves, and the feet. Become aware of the heaviness of the hips, the thighs, the calves, and the feet as they rest upon the earth. Bringing whole body awareness to the comfort and the heaviness of the physical body as it rests upon the earth. The heaviness of relaxation, finding the comfort in the heaviness of the relaxation. And when you're ready, slowly, very slowly, taking your time, rolling on to either comfortable side into your fetal posture. Taking a moment to feel the body as it moves from the heaviness to the lightness, as it begins to awaken. The subtle sensations in the body. Very gently using the hands to bring you back up to center, very slowly. Pushing the body back to center. Coming into a nice seated posture to close the practice. Noticing how secure the sit bones feel under the earth, on the earth. Close the eyes, or if you choose to leave them half open, bringing your hands to heart center or whatever mudra that you would like to express as you bring gratitude to yourself. And gratitude to yourself for showing up for yourself today. Showing up for life, showing up for your practice, showing up for your family, showing up for every breath, showing up for every moment. Thank you for allowing me to be your guide this evening. Remembering with every intention that you put forth, no matter if you think it's right or second guess yourself, always remember that the one true thing
is you can always find comfort and you can always find the answers within your breath. Whenever you feel anxious or stressed out, allow yourself the time to just be within your breath and return to your breath count cycle to help calm you and bring you back into your body. The light in me honors the beautiful light in each and every one of you. May you have a beautiful week ahead of you, and I hope to see you again on Friday. The light in me honors the beautiful, wonderful light in each and every one of you. Namaste.